When a fire breaks out on farm, the most practical thing to do is locate a fire extinguisher. But which fire extinguisher do you choose, and how do you operate it? Knowing the answers to these questions can not only save you crucial time in an emergency, but it could even save machinery, property, and lives. Let's study this firefighting device in more depth. All fire extinguishers in Australia must be regularly inspected, tested, and serviced by a certified professional to meet Australia's portable fire extinguisher standards and comply with work health safety standards. To comply with these standards, all fire extinguishers must be inspected every 6 months. The fire extinguisher testing intervals must be recorded on a label attached to the fire extinguisher or on a metal tag. The maximum hanging height is 1200 millimeters above the ground to the top of the fire extinguisher, and the minimum is 100 millimeters off the ground. Signs should be 2000 millimeters above floor level, above the fire extinguisher, and indicate what fires it's appropriate for it to be used on. Now that you're aware of the standards, you should also know that not all fires are the same depending on the fuel load, so they can't all be treated the same. You can use a water-based extinguisher to put out a fire fueled by paper, yet you wouldn't want to do the same on a fire caused by an electrical fault, as it could lead to some shocking results. Other extinguishers might not even have an impact on the fire if it is from an incompatible fire class. Let's go through the 6 fire classes in Australia. Class A. Class A fires are typically the most common and are started by ordinary combustible materials such as wood, paper, and textiles. Class B. Class B fires are started and fueled by flammable liquids such as paint and petrol. Class C. Class C fires are started by flammable gases such as butane and methane. Class D is classified as fires started by combustible metals like lithium, potassium, and magnesium. Class E. Class E fires are also quite common and are started by any type of electrical equipment or devices, like computers or faulty equipment. Class F. Class F fires typically occur in kitchens as they're caused by the ignition of cooking oils and fats. Now that we know the different fire classes, what extinguisher do we grab? Thankfully, not only do the extinguishers have the type and class written on the label above them, it's also written on the bottle. When choosing a fire extinguisher in Australia, it's important to understand the different types available and the different types of fire they should be used on. Some states and territories may differ in their labelling. So we're going to go through the 5 main types of fire extinguishers in Australia. Water. This fire extinguisher is a red bottle with no coloured bands. This bottle is filled with water and is commonly used for Class A fires: wood, paper, and cloth. Foam. Our next extinguisher has a blue band indicating it has foam inside that is used to combat Class A fires with the addition of flammable liquids from Class B. Dry powder, ABE and BE. A white banded bottle signals it's a dry powder extinguisher. Dry powder comes in 2 varieties, ABE and BE. This refers to what fire class it can be used on. CO2. This next bottle features a black band around it, signalling it's a CO2 extinguisher. These are used on Class E fires, which are electrical. Wet chemical. Our last extinguisher has a yellow band and is used for Class A and, most importantly, Class F fires on oils and fats. Now that we know which types extinguish which classes, all that is left is to learn how to use it. Knowing this can help stop a small fire breaking out into a much larger one that is more difficult to control. Using the steps known as PASS, show us how to use a fire extinguisher. Pull the safety pin at the top of the fire extinguisher. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle to release the extinguishing agent. Sweep the nozzle back and forth, making sure to cover the entire fire. There are a lot of fire extinguishers to choose from, so consider what fire risks are in your workplace and check that you have the appropriate fire extinguishers to choose from. Having fire safety training is critical to protect your farm and those working on it. With many reasons why a fire can break out on farm, often with authorities too far away to be able to assist in time, having fire safety training and fire extinguishers available is critical in preventing a small fire from turning into a devastating disaster. By getting trained, you can ensure that both you and others on the farm are equipped with the skills and knowledge needed to use a fire extinguisher and make smart decisions in the event of a fire emergency.